You've been assigned the name, Jasmine Control.
Keep quiet, use your wits, and with a bit of luck, you might make it.
The July right after graduation, we, saw some shit out there in the woods that changed me.
You're in comms, so Yellow Access is above them.
Oh, I talked with Yellow Access.
Whoa, hey, occupy. Don't take another step.
Holy shit, who?
Sorry about that. I'm Gabe West, janitor around here.
Okay, Green. I've laid 3 cards face down before me.
Sterling, I'm not sure this method works on one who knows it's taking place.
And what is on the cards before me?
A light bulb, a mug, and a bluebird.
Who's Green?
He was an engineer before he joined the department. Rapid hypnosis, lucid dreaming, telepathy studies, even wild shit like telekinesis and time travel. The bird song was his baby, but it got to him in the end.
She reached into the light on the lark's face, and when her hand returned, she was holding streams of pure, shimmering color.
I didn't want it to come to this. Jasmine, you're gonna need to take a jaunt. You're gonna do what Sterling calls instantaneous conveyance.
Where am I? Am I in your mind somehow?
It's a date then, Jazz.
I'm Violet, lol, HR.
The power outage, the stuck elevator, the flood, it's all theater.
You'll be participating in what we're tentatively calling the Protagonist Initiative. If things like the larks can be created, could we not also imbue similar strength in one of our own?
Then you have your first volunteer. We make the Bureau of Transnatural Resources tick.
What's my favorite color?
Green.
I've never told you that. How do you know?
Who are you?
Just a mask. I'll be seeing you, right?
What are you doing?
Oh, we were just
Talking about stuff. No.
Big deal. Let's keep...
A good idea, Jazz. If we want to get to Sterling, we're gonna have to make it through that fuck-off swarm in front of his door.
Or you could all take the maintenance shafts.
Gabe!
Holy shit.
Where did you even come from?
There's maintenance access right beside you. You just weren't paying attention.
Don't tell me it's...
Narrow as hell? You bet. But it's safe enough.
I am not going in there.
Then you can go ahead and take on those walking ping pong balls.
Thanks, Gabe. We'll come with you. Lead the way.
First, the easy part. We go down a floor in this here elevator shaft.
Great.
Then, the hard part. We open up the hatch that goes under the escalators, and we take the tunnel back up and over the professor's room.
Even better.
Oh, wait! That's not the hardest part, I forgot. There are cocoons all along the damn shafts.
A perfect day. Really.
Like the one we saw before?
You bet. Same bougie bunks all over the place. Looks like a fucking Emerson, Lake and Palmer album in there. Real Giger type shit.
Okay, so we drop down through the shaft and go through the tunnels. Easy.
If you want to call it that, sure.
No time to waste then.
The 4 stood before the freight elevator. Gabe jammed the crowbar into the doors and Scarlet pried them open. Scarlet winced at the pain of her efforts. She wasn't mortally wounded, but she sure as hell hurt. Scarlet was the first to descend, and Jasmine slid down behind her. Gabe took to the cable and climbed to the next floor with a handful of expletives. Then, it was Violet's turn. She stared down the empty pit below her. If they missed the cable, slipped even once...
Come on, Vi, you gotta go.
The creatures in front of Sterling's lab had followed them, and soon there came a pounding on the door, a hammering of fists, then of shoulders and bodies thrown against the wood. They were trying to break in, to blank Jasmine's memories.
I can't. I can't do it.
If you don't, you're dead. I'll catch you.
One final concerted push from the mimics and the door gave way. The blur-faced creatures rushed into the room, gunning straight for Violet. She gasped and froze in place. It wasn't until they were in her face that she made the plunge. Violet leapt into the empty elevator shaft and grabbed at the suspension cable. They slid a few feet, and their hands burned with the friction of it. Slowly, hand over hand, she moved down toward Scarlet and the others.
All right, Vi. Pick up the pace. I don't want to alarm you, but...
5 mimics launched themselves at the metal ropes. 2 missed and fell an unknown distance into the dark. 3 managed to latch on just above Violet. They stretched their sticky limbs out toward her face. As they got closer, their expressions changed, started to merge into something resembling a face. Violet's face. She tried to slide faster, but one of their hands slipped. Now Violet was dangling by one hand over what was surely her death. The creatures with Violet's face wrapped their extended fingers around her remaining hand and peeled it off the suspension. Violet yelped, and then she fell.
No!
Jasmine reached out for Violet's hand. A shimmer of color appeared in her palm, which flashed for just a second. In that second, she saw glimpses of Violet's past, mingled with memories from her own childhood. She saw a little girl collecting flowers and leaves in a jar, making a home for a moth. She saw herself tripping and hitting her nose on cement. She was in a play, one she'd never seen before, in front of a whole audience of strangers. She was eating a burrito in someone's room at 2 a.m. She was in a red Jeep, bumping along a gravel path. And then she was in the maintenance bay, watching herself watch Scarlet and Gabe pry open the doors. She focused on this memory from Violet's mind, one of their last, and held tight to it. She could feel the scene bristling with energy, an oversaturation of color and light. The sheer force of the image weakened her grip on the other memories around her. It started slipping through her fingers, fading into static. In order to keep her hold, she had to let something else go, release other memories. She let loose the fall, the late-night dinner, her first pet's name. She no longer remembered how she got the faint scar above her nose, nor that she had one at all. But she saw the elevator bay clear as day. Jasmine reached out, reached into the scene, and her hand came back awash in swirling hues. She closed her eyes and felt the colors move through her arm, up her shoulder, and into her head. The image beamed from Jasmine's forehead in a rectangle of projected light, up the elevator shaft, and then all went dark. Just for a moment, she was on the dewy grass again. Then Jasmine was standing in the bay. Scarlet and Gabe had just pried open the doors, and Violet was behind her, anxiously tapping one foot.
You...
What? You look all deranged, Jasmine. You were muttering something? You losing it?
What's up, you two?
I think Jasmine's losing.
I'm fine. Look, we need to bar that door out to the main hallway. Those blank things can break through if we don't reinforce it.
Didn't think we'd be in here long, but not a bad idea.
All right. Gabe, help me move this old desk in front of it. We should be able to jam it under the handle.
Got it, boss!
Jasmine stood in the middle of the room, eyes wide, every nerve and neuron firing simultaneously. She could feel every vibration, every molecule, every thought in her companions' heads. It didn't last, though. It faded almost as quickly as she could sense it. The desk's metal legs screeched across the tile floor as Gabe and Scarlet shoved it in front of the door.
All right. I'll drop first.
No, Violet, you need to go.
No, I don't.
Just listen to me, okay?
Jasmine's right. You're going to be the slowest getting down. You should go first. And if those things break through, the 3 of us can hold them off together better than you or Jasmine could alone.
I hate this place so fucking much.
Violet leaned into the elevator shaft and tentatively pulled the suspension to test its security. It didn't budge. Violet called on all her experience from the 2 gym classes they actually showed up to in high school. It was a long, painful moment full of yelping and swearing, but a moment later she was safely on the floor below. The mimics were pounding at the door, but it was holding steady. Jasmine, Scarlet, and Gabe quickly followed.
Good call on the door, Jasmine. I didn't expect that kind of tactical thinking out of you. No offense.
Yeah, thanks.
The group, led by Gabe, crept through the foyer of the 14th floor. Octagonal marble pillars rose high throughout the lobby. Jasmine could see the evening sky through patches of glass high on the wall. She was so close to the outside, but still so far. Gabe led with the flashlight, and Violet trailed behind. Soon they were at the foot of a large escalator that was out of service. Gabe crouched down at the base and opened up the control hatch.
Now, normally what you have here is just a little spot to mess with the escalator. But since this whole place is like a goddamn haunted house, it connects with all the other maintenance areas too.
Like arteries.
Arteries filled with people turning into butterflies, sure.
Let's move. Violet, get between me and Scarlet. Wait a minute. Get between me and Jasmine, just in case.
Gabe, Jasmine, Violet, then Scarlet all climbed into the hole in the floor. It was just barely wide enough to fit a single person. All the way down, the metal bars and gears were dotted with cocoons, some small, some as big as a soccer ball. And the whole tunnel was hot, steaming with the heat of working machinery.
Don't touch anything, okay? Those gears could take your hand off, and who knows about the goo sacks there.
Too late. I kicked a few.
Now, why the hell would you do that?
Don't like bugs.
Come on, Violet. Seriously?
A rumble came from the tunnels below. Round one narrow corridor inched a mammoth caterpillar. Its razor-like beak parted and let loose a string.
Get it off, get it off, get it off!
The pale green giant began pulling the silk back into its mouth with its mandibles, dragging Scarlet closer to its chattering jaw.
Does anyone have a knife? Or a lighter?
You think this thing likes to get smoked out? Like the one in Alice in Wonderland?
No, silk's flammable. If we can't cut it off, maybe we can burn it.
Here! Catch!
Thanks.
Anytime, guys, would be great. Any fucking time.
The strand around Scarlet's ankle burned bright and quick until all that was left at the top of her boot was a ring of charred ash. She kicked off the remnants and the four of them climbed as fast as the passages would allow. The caterpillar followed in hot pursuit until the chamber above Sterling's lab proved too narrow for its rotund frame. They opened the maintenance hatch near some of Sterling's equipment and dropped into the room one by one, followed by a few errant ropes of silk.
I hate this place so fucking much.
Violet. Scarlet. Oh, you must be Jasmine Control. And friend. Good to see you all, despite the fright you just gave me. How was the journey?
Oh, you're gonna love it, Sterling. Felt like I was in a coffin for 20 minutes with 3 other corpses.
I see.
What? You claustrophobic too?
Well, enclosed spaces and I simply don't get along.
All right. Now that we're here, I'd like some answers, Sterling. You set this whole thing up, right?
Well, yes and no. What I proposed was a simple training regimen, a gauntlet of increasing difficulty, but never actual danger. The plan was to see if I could produce in you, Control, any kind of heroic aptitude or supernatural phenomena, to see if we could do this without full exposure to the birdsong. But I suspect something was amiss from the very beginning. The first floor of your test should have been a simple task. Find the communicator and reach the stairs. There were no larks involved in this trial.
But there sure as hell were larks, Sterling.
Right, so that leads me to believe that either a mistake was made somewhere along the line, or one of the higher-ups had different ideas for this experiment.
What do you mean?
Well, in order to get approval for the plan, I had to include you, Scarlet.
Use me, you mean?
Well, that's what I wonder. Did the primaries include you as an overseer, or are you a subject as well?
If that's true, then we all are. You, me, Violet, we're all still in their fucking game.
That's the concern, yes. That leaves us with 2 options, and I'm not sure which is worse. It's either a catastrophic accident or an intentional catastrophe.
Both suck.
And I must be an important part of this shit show somehow, too.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Though you've been integral to their escape, I hear.
Hell yeah, man.
Sterling, let's say you were right. Let's say I did get some kind of affinity for psychic stuff during your test. What then?
Well, we would have studied the results, ensured its safety, and replicated the test in all future hires, maybe even in myself, theoretically.
What if it wasn't theoretical?
Pardon?
She fought off a lark with her bare hands, dude.
Incredible. What was the experience like?
I could see into its copper's mind. I could see his memories, my own too, almost like a home movie. But I reached in somehow. And those lights that the larks have, I had it in my hand. I could use it.
That's performance beyond all expectations. I almost hesitate to believe it.
There's more. I think I can see the future, or change the past, or something. Because I saw Violet die earlier.
What the fuck?
Sorry, Violet. I saw her die. I saw both of our lives flash before me, and I saw the moments before her death. I tried to hold on, tried to keep her in my head, like I did when Scarlet had me take a jaunt.
Hold on. Scarlet, you allowed a jaunt. She was in your memories.
I don't know how this shit works, genius, but I had to do something. That mimic from the Blank Commission was gonna kill her.
This is very reminiscent of... No, I don't believe it. If she's anything like him,
we're totally porked.
Ew, come on.
You mean that guy in the glass case?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the dude in cold storage. You talking about Green something?
He's here. He's alive.
I cleaned his place 12 times.
Gabe, I want you to think really hard about this. Are you sure it's him? Because what you're saying right now is that Green is alive, in this building, and has been in what sounds like a prison for the last, 3 years?
I mean, yeah, sounds about right. That any weirder than a stoner bird guy or a song that turns you into a fucking Scooby-Doo villain?
Of course, I'm completely on board.
Good. You've been a model employee, Gray. You may even be in line for a promotion, dear.
You're very, generous, Yellow. What's the next step?
We have our control and we have our dependent variable. Now, we need a sledgehammer.
And that'll be me?
Once Green's birdsong is released, you will test their limits, push them beyond their sensory experiences, harm them, if you must.
For the good of the office, right?
Yes, the office. We will all benefit.
What if it doesn't work?
We flush the fish down the drain and start again, darling.
The new employee orientation.
Sterling and the others will assume this is all part of the test Blue approved. But you will interrupt that orientation.
Any guidelines, or...?
I trust your judgment, Gray. You have the authority to do whatever you see fit, whatever it takes to unlock their potential. Now, let's go meet Green and see what a little time with him can do for you.
This is unconscionable. Impossible.
I straight up don't believe it.
I thought he was gone. Disappeared.
Wait, so the guy who designed the building is alive, and he's in it? We have to find him. He's our best bet for figuring all this out.
I think we'd all like to see Green.
Assuming Gabe didn't hallucinate this whole thing.
Hey, man, I haven't hallucinated in 12 hours. Wait, no, scratch that. Unless there really is a horse with a green M&M's face in the corner over there.
Okay, so maybe the source is unreliable, but Gabe's a good dude. It's not their fault their bosses fucked them over here.
The bosses? If Green's here, they must know about it. That lends further evidence to the theory that this was all intentional.
All of this... for me?
It would appear that way.
Great. Then why am I here?
There's still much to be learned. The upside is that it seems Jasmine here can hold her own against the building's defenses. That's quite a boon to your team.
She's not a boon, okay? She's a friend. I'm sick of her being used.
Scarlet, I didn't mean it like...
You want her to be the department's nuke.
I didn't say that. Not in that sense, no.
Look, let's just calm down. We need to keep going. We can't stay here forever. Can you climb up the maintenance port, Sterling?
I don't think I will.
You're joking. We just got back together.
Scarlet, I'm not bold like you, and I have little in the way of survival skills.
I'm staying here too.
Why? What is wrong with you?
Jasmine just said she saw me die. I watched a minotaur get cut in fucking half by a fucking elf. I'm no help to you all. I'm not fast, and I'm not strong. I'd literally be safer here than following you.
Maybe, but...
Scarlet, if this is all according to the primary's plan, things are only going to escalate as we descend. I doubt Violet and I will survive. You have a jaunt. Jasmine has what she has. This lab is built to sustain ballistic missile strikes. I think we'll have better chances here.
So you're giving up. That's what you're telling me.
We're being realistic, Scar. We're both better off.
I'll drag you if I have to. I'm not leaving you behind.
I'm afraid you must.
You absolute clown. Handcuffed to the desk? Really?
I believe in the two of you. I know you'll return to us when it's safe.
I promise.
Violet, you're just gonna go along with this? Jasmine?
Gabe's here too.
Fuck off, Gabe.
Scarlet.
Jasmine rested her hand on Scarlet's back. Scarlet flinched. Then she let out a deep sigh.
I hate it when you're right. Mr. Big Brain over there. It does look pretty secure here. If the two of you...
3.
Fuck off, Gabe! If the 3 of you stay here and stay quiet, maybe they'll leave you alone.
And we can always crawl back through Satan's asshole up there if they bust in.
Right. Fine. I hate this. I hate every second of it. I hate that we're walking away. But Jasmine, let's go.
There's work to be done.
And some managerial ass to kick.
Good luck. And Scarlet, keep an eye on her.
I will. Only 13 more floors to go.
Should only take, 3, 4 hours?
Faster if you take the freight lift.
What?
Yeah, man. That's why I came looking for you. Well, for Jasmine. I got the freight elevator working again.
Why didn't we take it here in the first place?
It can only go one way. And it's gonna move real fast when it goes.
Are you sure it's working?
And that it's not just gonna drop us?
It'll go down.
Let's try it. The faster we get out, the faster we can help Sterling and Violet.
And Gabe.
And Gabe.
And Gabe. Thanks, bud. Jasmine, let's go. We're heading to the lobby.
Hey everyone, this is creator Rat Grimes with just a few notes. First, I'd like to thank the cast in order of appearance. Jesse Syratt, M. Carlson, Emily Kellogg, Shaun Pellington, Justin Hatch, William A. Wellman, Tatiana Gefter, Saph the Something, Taylor Michaels, and special guest Shannon Strucci. Without them, there would not be a show. Head on over to somewhereohio.com for more info about the cast and where you can listen to their other shows. Second, I'd like to thank our $10 patrons for the month. We have Glitched Frost, Riley, Corbin, Getsu and Hoshi, Nolan, Trash Binary, Joint Effort, Tibbs, Evan, Kidcha, Jennifer, Patricia, and Gads. If you'd like to get your name in the credits like these fine folk, head on over to patreon.com/somewhereohio and sign up for the tiers there. If you want a free way to support the show, go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. If you leave us a nice 5-star review, I may read it on the air, just like this one here from Annabelle MC. The show is only a few episodes in, but has already become a favorite. It's so perfectly weird, and its world building is unique and gripping. The VAs do a fantastic job, and I love the contrast between the experienced and generally nonplussed Jaunt and Control's shaky assertions of what we're all thinking. This cannot be happening. There's so much going on under the surface of our main character's escape, and I'm desperate to dig deeper into it. They also note that they love the theme music. So thank you for listening. And if you're looking for something a little different to listen to, check out this trailer for Dungeons and Drimbus, an actual play podcast.
Were you accused of a murder enacted by supernatural forces beyond your control?
Yeah.
Are you seeking a multi-figure gold settlement for damages to your business?
Yes. Are you a young entrepreneur seeking justice for the murder of a family member that would be here if you were better at your job?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Thomas Phelps. I am the attorney, along with my assistants, of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher, and we want to help you get justice.
Our expert legal services are available for a modest fee. But not too modest, I got a family to feed.
As a bot, I don't eat, but I do have a hunger. A hunger for justice.
And that hunger drives us to work for you, future client. From investigation to sentencing, we've got you covered for everything from public urination.
Oh, yeah.
To murder in varying degrees.
Don't look at me.
The attorneys of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher care about families. That's why they work quickly to help get this daddy off. I was blown away.
My business was in trouble after an unfortunate case of property damage, but the attorneys of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher helped set things right with a hefty gold settlement.
So come on down to the law offices of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher.
Located in the old Biscayne Boys building.
In Eastern Orgea.
Just follow the podcast highway signs for Dungeons and Drimbus and take the Season 3 exit. The attorneys of Phelps, Oz, Mogbile, and Felcher are not responsible nor liable for any of the following that may be incurred while working on your case. Sudden death, loss of limb, heartbreak, the use of magic to secure evidence, the wrath of an interdimensional being, urinary bladder infections, nausea, depression, the sudden desire to remove one's clothing, the illicit romance of a will they, won't they workplace scenario, or a complete and utter disregard for the natural laws of space and time.
Join your favorite fantasy attorneys for their next case. Dungeons and Drimbus publishes every Friday wherever podcasts are found.